Guys, I got a very quick video, and it's to discuss very briefly PowerShell versions, because of course a crucial thing that often goes missed when people are first working with PowerShell is there are different versions of it, and it is not constantly changing, but it changes somewhat frequently, and it can catch people off guard. And you will probably run into problems where your PowerShell scripts are running beautifully on one system that you have and do not work on the next. And often the reason why is because you perhaps have a different OS version, a different version of Windows. You might not have certain .NET binaries installed. You might not have the correct version of PowerShell itself. You might not have certain modules installed. It can get very confusing. Let me give you it's not really a commandlet, but a command that will really help you avoid a lot of problems. If you are banging your head against a brick wall because something that did work, a script that did work on a different machine is not working on the current one, then what you want to do is look up $PS version table. Okay, this will tell you what version of PowerShell you have. PS version. Now I've got version PowerShell 5, to be very specific, 5.1, and then whatever build version this is here. But I now know I definitely am running PowerShell version 5. Now I have got Windows 10 running on this machine. So the really helpful thing about this is it actually comes with PowerShell version 5 baked into it. What I will put in the video notes is a very helpful Microsoft document guide, which actually gives you a breakdown of the different versions of PowerShell that exist and which versions of Windows they run on. Now, one thing that is missing from all of this is something called Windows PowerShell Core, aka PowerShell 6. I'm going to have to do a completely separate video on that because this is the very new to, as in came out in the end of 2017. It's about a year old. Version of PowerShell that is designed to run cross-platform. So Microsoft are very keen to ensure that PowerShell is now becoming a multi-OS scripting language, in the same way that perhaps you would describe Python as being. I'm not going to confuse things by bringing that in here because that's very new and technically a different tool from what is just box standard PowerShell. I will talk about that in more detail in another video. This link will be very useful. You really want to try and make sure you're running on PowerShell 5 because it's going to have the latest commandlets, the latest bug fixes, etc. And to be honest, you probably want to make sure that you're working on the newer versions of Windows. I mean, to be honest with you, I would question why you're kind of working on Server 2008 R2 and Windows 7, Windows 8.1. Of course, there are legacy systems in any enterprise, but life is going to be difficult running certain scripting on those machines. You really want to get yourself onto at least 2012 R2 and Windows 10, Windows 2016. But the full breakdown is here. You can see what PowerShell 4 runs on, PowerShell 3, what you need to have installed, what your prereqs are. It's extremely helpful. But like I say, the key command to bear in mind is PS version table. Confirm which version of PowerShell you are running on your machine, and you might find that the reason that your script is not working is because you have been working with commandlets that are only supported by versions 4 and 5 of PowerShell, and you're on a Windows 7 box with PowerShell version 2. That's going to help you very quickly ascertain that you need to upgrade your version of PowerShell, or run on a different system, or whatever is the most appropriate action to take. So hopefully that's of help to you guys. It's been very helpful to me when I've got stuck in the past. One command and you can figure out where you are.